So the US and China declaring a truce for 90 days in the trade war that was launched by US President Donald Trump. We're joined now by Sean King, Senior VP at Park Strategies. Sean, thanks very much for coming on the show.
Good to be with you.
You have a caveat here. You note that any kind of a real trade deal between two massive trading partners like this is likely to take years to fully negotiate and finalize.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at NAFTA, that took years from the Reagan into Bush administrations, and it was only passed by Bill Clinton. When I was at Commerce for 5 years, deals with even friendly countries like South Korea, Chile, and Singapore took years to finish. Here we're talking about the first and second biggest economies in the world, which have a politically adversarial relationship. How can we resolve anything substantive within only 90 days? So I don't know. I heard this thing referred to as a deal. I wouldn't call it as a deal. I like your word, armistice before the break. It's more of a truce, a ceasefire. We're back to where we started, although we still have 30% tariffs on inbound Chinese imports because we have the 20% fentanyl tariff, which was not addressed in the joint statement. So this is the start of a new beginning, perhaps, but certainly not a deal per se.
Right. Park Strategies, of course, a consulting and lobbying firm. And you spent 5 years at the U.S. Department of Commerce, and you were a senior advisor for Asia. So you have experience in this area. And one of the things you say you'd like to see is America pushing forward with deals with actual political allies.
Yeah, and just on the commerce piece, what was interesting is that on Liberation Day, April 2nd, it was Commerce Secretary Lutnick who made the announcement. When I was at Commerce, Commerce was more of a support agency for the United States Trade Representative, sort of a back office research operation. But under Trump's second administration, it seemed like Commerce was taking more of a lead in negotiating trade. Secretary Lutnick has been all but absent from these talks with the PRC over the weekend. And yeah, where was Xi Jinping last week? He was in Moscow with Vladimir Putin for the Liberation Day. We're dealing with a Marxist, Leninist dictatorship, which does not have our and our allies' interests in mind. I mean, Canada learned that the hard way with the two Michaels, going back to the Huawei arrest in 2018, and since then alleged interference in your elections. So I think we should be spending more time negotiating our deals with South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, the UK, which was the preliminary terms of which were announced last week, and less time dealing with countries that don't have our best interests at heart. So we have a lot of deals going on at once. I wonder how much bandwidth we have to really follow through on any of them when now a behemoth like mainland China is going to soak up all the oxygen in the room. It's too bad we left TPP in 2017. Canada was smart enough to stay in it, but I wish we would spend less time squabbling and fighting with our friends and allies and more focused on the common rival, which is Beijing.
Of course, you're referring there to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, that trade deal.
Right.
Your thesis is that China needs the U.S. more in terms of trade, more than the U.S. needs China?
Yeah, the U.S. is less trade dependent than most major economies. As Bono from U2 once said, America is not a country, it's a continent. Huh. So we need trade less than other countries do. And the PRC is very export dependent. We have been trying for years to get China to be more consumer focused, to buy as much useless crap as our consumers do. But that's just not the way the mainland Chinese economy works. And other countries like China need exports more than we do. So they send us 3 to 4 times as much as what we send them. Now, we had the first economic contraction in 3 years recently, but PRC exports to the U.S. are down 20+% year on year. So I think economically, in purely economic terms, Beijing needs us more than we need them. The only difference is our leaders face elections and they don't. So Trump is probably worried how tariffs and a slowing economy could affect Republicans' chances in the midterms. If you complain about it in China, you just get thrown in jail or taken off TV. So I think the economic needs are more on the Chinese side, but the political needs are more on our side.
You're a bit pejorative there, calling Chinese exports useless crap, because, I mean, they make some...
I didn't say that. I didn't say Chinese exports use. I said we expect other countries to buy as much useless crap as we do. Donald Trump got in trouble a week or two ago for saying that kids could deal with $2 instead of $30 this Christmas. So a lot of stuff we get from mainland China is essential. I wish we would get it from other places, but I'm just saying Americans in general consume too much useless crap.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Okay, I misunderstood because obviously China exports some pretty sophisticated stuff these days.
Yep.
Sean, give us, when investors around the world obviously looking at this trade war, is there something that we're missing here, or is there something that's coming at us? The light ahead in the tunnel, is there a train coming at us? Some horrible surprise?
Every day there seems to be a surprise. Some of it horrible, some of it not. I think the worst could be that other trade deals with friendlier nations don't work out because we're too focused on the China deal. And I noticed there was no mention of fentanyl in the joint statement between Washington and Beijing, which apparently this was a big part of it to begin with. And also we talked about mutual respect in the joint statement. That is a term that's very friendly to the Chinese Communist Party. They like to say that kind of thing. And of course, when I say useless crap from abroad, I would never put Toronto Maple Leafs jerseys in that category.
Thank you for that note, Sean. Thank you very much. Sean, I have to ask you, just finally, how you speak fluent Swedish. How did you pick up fluent Swedish along the way?
Well, first of all, Swedish is probably the easiest language for a native English speaker to learn. And I happened to be a high school exchange student in Sweden when I was 16 and spent a year there with a small family in an idyllic seaside town called Ystad, Y-S-T-A-D. Look it up on a map. And it just clicked from day one. So I've been back there 3 or 4 times in the last 2 years alone. My parents and I went back there in November to visit my nephew who was studying in nearby Copenhagen. So I'm back and forth to Sweden once or twice a year and text in Swedish every day.
You sparked my curiosity with that. Sean, thank you very much indeed for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Sean King, Senior VP at Park Strategies. Coming up, pharma stocks are tumbling as Trump says he plans to slash U.S. drug prices. We'll have more when we return.